Tonight's 11th night of Ramadan. Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Together with the Presidential Communications Office, we bring you the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news coverage from the People's Television, IBC, Philippine News Agency, Philippine Information Agency, and Presidential Broadcast Service. I'm Princess Habiba Saripaudak from Radyo Pilipinas. Welcome to Balitang Pambansa. Tonight's headlines. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. approves 180 investments worth over 4 trillion pesos that is expected to generate more jobs and help lower food and electricity prices. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. led the inauguration of the Soro-Soro Ibaba Development Cooperative Grains Terminal and Trading Project. Former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV shares his thoughts as to when the next arrest will possibly happen against personalities cited as respondents to the case filed before the International Criminal Court or ICC. Lawmakers share their views and expectations following the arrest of former President Duterte by virtue of a warrant issued by the International Criminal Court or ICC. On top of the news, better days ahead are in store for the economy. At least 187 investments have been green-lighted by the Board of Investments by way of its one-stop shop for strategic investments, capital, financial assets, and resources that will bankroll projects on renewable energy, digital infrastructure, food production, and manufacturing that equate to jobs and investment opportunities for MSMEs. Our Floyd Brands reports.
More jobs, affordable food supply, cheaper electricity. These are the expected results of the approved investments under the administration of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. The President announced 187 investment projects have been certified by the Bureau of Investments. These projects are worth over 4 trillion pesos and were processed through the One-Stop Shop Action Center for Investments. The investments cover renewable energy, food production, digital infrastructure, and manufacturing. 45 of these projects are foreign-owned, with investors coming from Denmark, the Netherlands, Singapore, among others. 6 projects are operational. These are all contributing to economic growth and generating hundreds of thousands of jobs.
Inahasahan po na makakalikha ang investment na ito ng halos 300,000 trabaho para sa ating mga kababayan. Hindi lamang po ito trabaho, kung hindi makabuluhang oportunidad para sa mas maayos at mas maginhawang buhay. Makakatulong din po ang dumaraming investment upang mapababa ang presyo ng mga serbisyo at bilihin dahil sa kompetisyon. Kasama na po dyan ang mas maayos na transportasyon, enerhiya, komunikasyon, dulot ng mga makabagong teknolohiya mula sa namumuhunan.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. assured the government will further streamline and accelerate business processes. A key initiative is Executive Order Number 18, which provides a green lane for investors. With this measure, business licenses and permits are completely processed within 12 days. The Create More law also enhances tax incentives and investments policies for both local and foreign businesses.
The goal is simple: less red tape, more action, more results, more success, more quickly. We want investments to come in, projects to break ground faster, jobs to reach our people sooner. Because when businesses move quickly, progress follows just as fast.
The Chief Executive also recognized government agencies and LGUs for their contributions to investment growth. Institutions that provided efficient services, established green lane focal points, and acknowledged investors' concerns received citation and recognition. From PTV Manila, Floyd Brands, Balitang Pambansa.
Rice may be the country's main staple for subsistence, but corn is the all-versatile and revenue-generating grain that yields multiple industrial products for domestic use and export. Earlier today, the president unveiled a grains terminal and trading hub in Batangas worth over ₱250 million, which our Kenneth Pasyente covered in this report.
Javier has dedicated decades to farming and livestock raising in Batangas. However, he can't help but scratch his head every time the price of feeds for his pigs increases.
Mababa ang nagiging kita natin. Kung hindi man lugi, hindi doon sapat ang kinikita.
To help ease the burden of farmers like Javier,
1, 2, 3.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. inaugurated the Soro-Soro Ibaba Development Cooperative or SEED-C Grains Terminal and Trading Project. This 278 million peso facility aims to strengthen the agricultural sector by improving storage, procurement, and trading of corn, a key ingredient in feed production.
Sa pamamagitan nito, mas magiging maayos ang pag-iimbak ng ating mais. Mas magiging matibay ang ating suporta sa industriya ng poultry at saka ng livestock. At higit sa lahat, magkakaroon ng katiyakan ng kita ang ating mga magsasaka at ang ating mga negosyante. Hindi lamang dito sa Batangas, kung hindi sa buong Calabarzon.
He also pointed out that this facility will help strengthen the supply chain by boosting yellow corn production, which will ultimately benefit corn farmers. It will also lower the cost of feeds needed by local farmers. So if corn production increases, farmers' capital expenses for farm inputs will be reduced, while their income will increase. He added that this will also help solve farmers' storage problems because of the facility's large capacity and its equipment, such as silos and truck scales.
Ito pong feed mill facility na ito ay may 2 silo na may kabuong ng kapasidad na 12,000 metriko tonelada ng mais. Katumbas ito ng 480,000 sako na pakain para sa higit na 1,000 baboy o kaya naman ay halos 600,000 manok.
Currently, an estimated 567 hog raisers, poultry farmers, and yellow corn farmers became beneficiaries of this project.
Papasalamat may proyekto nga ito binigay ang ating mga gobyerno ng ating Pangulo na magiging maganda ang magiging kita ng mag-aalaga ng hayop.
Ito pong pasilidad na ito ay malaking tulong sa amin dahil unang-una ay mapapanatili namin yung kalidad ng aming mais dahil meron ditong magandang patuyuan at saka imbakan. Sa ganun pong pamamaraan, pag maganda ang kalidad ng aming mais, maganda ang magiging presyo.
Meanwhile, the chief executive emphasized the importance of farmers joining cooperatives so they can have a stronger, unified voice. The president also directed the Department of Agriculture or DA to coordinate with the Cooperative Development Authority to strengthen farmers' cooperatives.
If you are only one person, you have only one voice. You build a cooperative that is working well together, that is managed well, such as SEED-C. And you will find na palaki ang boses ng ating mga magsasaka, ng ating mga mangingisda. Kapag ang kooperatiba natin ay matibay at buo ang suporta na natatanggap nila galing sa pamahalaan.
He also said that the government will not stop pursuing projects and programs for farmers, especially in funding agricultural equipment, improving irrigation, and promoting modern technologies to help the farmers thrive. From PTV Manila, Kenneth Pasyente, Balitang Pambansa.
To further boost the Philippines' diplomatic and governance efforts, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. administered the oath of office of Attorney Antonio Cerilles as the new presidential advisor on Mindanao concerns. According to President Marcos Jr., Cerilles brings extensive experience in public service, having previously served as governor of Zamboanga del Sur, a congressman, and secretary of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR. He also expressed confidence that Cerilles' expertise will be instrumental in advancing the administration's efforts to bring lasting progress to Mindanao. Meanwhile, the chief executive also formally appointed Abdul Rauf Makakua as the interim chief minister of the Bangsamoro Transition Authority. Following his oath-taking, the president voiced his trust that Makakuwa will continue the government's initiatives to ensure sustainable development in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, or BARM. President Marcos Jr. also highlighted that Makakuwa's leadership comes at a crucial time as the region prepares for its first ever parliamentary elections. The arrest of former President Rodrigo Duterte and his transfer to the International Criminal Court, or ICC, in the Netherlands has sparked strong reactions, with former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV expressing hope for justice as he believes it brings a sense of relief to the families of those allegedly victimized by EJK, or the extrajudicial killings during Duterte's administration. Meanwhile, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa finally broke his silence and firmly denied claims that he went into hiding. PTV's Daniel Malalastas tells us more.
For former Senator Antonio Trillanes IV, he is happy for the families of alleged victims of extrajudicial killings under the time of former President Rodrigo Duterte, as the former president has already been placed under the International Criminal Court's custody.
Ngayon po, ito naman ay talagang natuldukan po ay papaano ang isang napakahabang biyahe, pagkikipaglaban po para sa karapatan po ng mga kababayan natin at sa papanagutin ang mga nagkasala na mga leader ng ating bayan.
But next thing to watch out for are the Dutertes co-accused, and when the possible issuance of arrest warrant from the ICC will happen.
Hindi natin alam yan, pero sa tansya ko mga ilang buwan pa bago lumabas yan. Inuna nila siguro muna, binigyan nila ng prioridad, kaya ganon. Pero ano yan kasi pag titignan mo yung gravity of the offense, magkaparehas ang role ni Bato tsaka ni Digong.
Trillanes also has this message for Duterte.
Itong kay Duterte, ang mensahe ko ay gamitin niya itong mga panahon na ito na magnilay-nilay, tanggapin niya yung pagkakasala niya at i-purify niya yung kaluluwa niya kasi kailangan niya yan para mas matanggap niya yung kanyang kapalaran. Nasa kanila yan.
Okay.
Pero syempre, it will be a bad look for the Senate.
Meanwhile, Senator Ronald de la Rosa, who is also being implicated in the ICC case, denied that he went into hiding and explained why he was missing in action at the height of Duterte's arrest.
Hindi ko nagtatagot. Bundok ng Surigao at Agusan.
Hindi nga, sir.
Nagkampanya ako sa mga bundok-bundok ng Surigao at Agusan. Pinatay ko ang phone ko dahil busy kami doon sa pag-asikaso ng yung aming petition. Kasi kung dami tumatawag, may hirapan kami. Kaya nagrarally kami. Hinahabol namin yung petition namin .
For PTV Manila, Daniel Malalastas, Balitang Pambansa.
Meanwhile, former President Rodrigo Duterte is in The Hague, Netherlands, to face charges of alleged crimes against humanity related to his war on drugs. Some lawmakers, like House Deputy Minority Leader Representative Franz Castro, believes that Duterte will be given due process, though they acknowledge that thousands of victims of extrajudicial killings, or EJKs, under his administration did not receive similar treatment. Castro anticipates the trial could take 7 to 8 years, but hopes truth and justice will prevail. As Duterte approaches his 80th birthday on March 28, lawmakers wished him strength to face the challenges ahead.
Sa ating dating presidente, sana po ay magpalakas kayo, maging healthy para maharap ninyo yung inyong kaso.
The Philippine National Police or PNP denied allegations that former President Rodrigo Duterte was mistreated during his arrest and transferred to the Netherlands. Instead, the PNP asserted that former President Duterte was given special treatment and that maximum tolerance was exercised despite reported instances of aggression and verbal abuse from his supporters towards police personnel. Responding to claims that Duterte's rights were violated, the PNP clarified that the arrest was conducted in compliance with international protocols. The PNP also assured that Duterte was not subjected to inhumane conditions and was provided with sufficient food and water and was even held in the presidential lounge. A wheelchair was offered, but he declined, and he was given medical attention, eliminating the need for hospital confinement.
Wala pong deprivation at any moment ng kanilang right to food and water. In fact, dinideliver pa nga namin eh. And they're just the one declining na lang dahil sobra namang pagkain talaga eh. Sobra namang dami eh. Doon siya naupo sa same seat na para sa ngayong presidente. Pinabigyan po namin, pati po ang kanyang mga kasamahan, they were there in the most comfortable lounge.
Following the arrest of former President Rodrigo Duterte, his common-law wife Hanilet Avancenia will likely face a direct assault charge for allegedly hitting a police officer with her cell phone during the arrest. The Philippine National Police or PNP shared a video showing the incident. Despite verbal insults hurled against them, the PNP maintained maximum tolerance. Former Executive Secretary Salvador Medildea might also face obstruction of justice charges for allegedly blocking the police actions. PNP spokesperson Jean Fajardo emphasized that Duterte cooperated in the end, helping reduce tension, and that the PNP remained professional in carrying out their duties. Following the implementation of the Harmonized Electronic License and Permit System, or HELPS, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, has reported a surge in applications for minor traveling abroad, or MTA clearance, throughout its online platform. According to Assistant Secretary Ada Colico of the DSWD Protective Program, the agency has received over 1,700 applications since the launching of HELPS. On average, they process 127 applications daily, with 750 clearances already issued. Despite the digital platforms increasing usage, some applicants still prefer to process their clearance through DSWD regional offices. The agency also encourages the public, especially those applying for MTA clearance, to utilize the HELP system for a more convenient and efficient application process.
Ay kakabsat nga narayat kaslanay pang Panguluan ti Pangulo ti Pilipinas agigip iti taray nga napinta takil tinak panagyaman ti panakikat dagiti nagadunga utang.
Ito ang kantang inialay ng 79 na taong gulang na si Salvador Marugay Sr. para kay Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Isa si Tatay Salvador sa mga personal na inabutan ng Pangulo ng Certificate of Condonation with Release of Mortgage o COCROM sa makasaysayan na pinakaunang pagpapamudmud nito sa mga agrarian reform beneficiary noong July 19, 2024 sa Lingayen, Pangasinan.
Agyam-yaman ak iti pangiding tituray ti Pilipinas. Tati utang ko inikat niya po Presidente Bongbong Marcos.
Bagong Pilipino at bagong Pilipinas.
Ang mga certificate na ito ay simbolo ng katuparan ng ating pangako na buburahin natin ang pagkakautang ng ating mga agrarian reform beneficiaries dito sa Region 1.
And we are back. The planned rehab of the most traveled and congested piece of roadway in the mega city and the nation at large has been put off for next month. DOTR head Honcho Vince Dizan said he and his people are proceeding carefully in laying down the multiple phases of the overall plan for the huge makeover project, from using reinforced concrete along stretches of EDSA to the application of asphalt infused with anti-rotting and anti-cracking formula and refurbishing the drainage systems with high-density polyethylene pipes. And the EDSA rehab entails the concept of build back better with durability in mind. The DOTR-led project entails participation of the Department of Public Works and Highways, the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, the DILG, among others, with the key involvement of all LGUs covered by the length of the 14-plus kilometer highway. On the other news, farmers in Palawan will also have better access to soil information as the Department of Agriculture, through the Bureau of Soils and Water Management, sets plans in motion to establish 2 state-of-the-art soil laboratories in the province, including a mobile soil laboratory to enhance agricultural productivity by equipping farmers with essential data about their land. Orlan Jabacat from the Philippine Information Agency Mimaropa tells us more.
The Department of Agriculture, through the Bureau of Soils and Water Management, has officially started the construction of 2 soil laboratories and the installation of a mobile soil laboratory in Palawan. Recently, a memorandum of agreement was signed between the DA and the 3 local government units in Palawan, where the project will be established. The ceremony also included the groundbreaking for the new soil laboratory. The initiative was first announced by DA Undersecretary and Chief of Staff Alvin Jan F. Balagbag during the 2024 Farmers and Fisheries Clustering and Consolidation National Cluster Summit in Puerto Princesa City. The Agri-Department has chosen the towns of Brooks Point and Rizal as the sites for the permanent soil testing laboratories, while a mobile soil laboratory will be set up in the municipality of Aborlan. With the soil laboratories in place, farmers will gain quick access to necessary information about their land, ensuring they use the right farm inputs for optimal results. The Department of Agriculture added that President Marcos has been a strong proponent of establishing soil laboratories across Mimaropa region, which has made this project a reality. From the Philippine Information Agency Mimaropa, Orlan Habagat, Balitang Pambansa.
The Lamitan City's local government signed an executive order to intensify the timely information dissemination and support the Barangay Information Officer Network. To know the importance and content of the executive order for relevant government information dissemination, Nilda de los Reyes of the Philippine Information Agency, Basilan Province, tells us more.
To strengthen communication between the local government and its constituents in Lamitan City, Mayor Roderick H. Frigay signed Executive Order No. 02, Series of 2025, a strategic move to reorganize and sustain its Barangay Information Officers Network, or the Bayan. Lamitan City local government aims to empower communities by ensuring timely dissemination of vital information about government programs, initiatives, and public services. Under the new executive order, barangays will appoint designated information officers responsible for disseminating relevant government information to their respective communities. Furthermore, recognizing the significance of timely and accurate information during emergencies, the EO also states that Bayan will serve as a critical communication channel, especially in times of disaster or public health crisis. The officers are tasked with social disseminating advisories and vital information while utilizing various platforms such as media, text messaging, and radio broadcasting to maximize outreach. To support the officers in their roles, the city government will provide regular training and capacity building activities. Moreover, to incentivize their efforts, Bayan members will receive a monthly allowance to cover their expenses related to their duties, along with recognition awards for outstanding service. This reorganization of Lamitan City Bayan follows the framework set forth by various legal mandates in the Philippines, emphasizing the importance of local governance and disaster risk reduction. The Lamitan City Bayan was initially established in November 2020, making it a pioneering information network in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. This has been organized through the collaborative efforts of the Philippine Information Agency, Ministry of Interior and Local Government, and the City Government of Lamitan under the administration of late Mayor Rose Furigay. From the Philippine Information Agency in Basilan Province, Leslie Rose Uyao for Balitang Pambansa.
To retain the patriotism and nationalism in our country's sovereignty, various government agencies in Cagayan Valley held a West Philippine Sea Symposium at Cagayan State University. Mary Joy Javier of Philippine Information Agency Cagayan Valley hashes over the details.
Public awareness on the West Philippine Sea issue continued to grow, especially among the youth. This was highlighted during the West Philippine Sea Symposium at Cagayan State University, where more than 600 students from various schools in the region, along with the representatives from different government agencies in Cagayan Valley, engaged in discussions on the country's territorial claims.
Nakakatuwang malaman na ang kabataang Pilipinong katulad nyo ngayon ay namulat na sa katotohanan na ang West Philippine Sea ay hindi ito contested.
With the ongoing tensions between the Philippines and China, the government assures the public that diplomacy remains at the forefront of its approach. Commodore J.T. Tariela, spokesperson for the National Task Force on the West Philippine Sea, emphasized that while the administration asserts its country's sovereign rights, it remains committed to peaceful resolutions.
While we are asserting strongly our position on the West Philippine Sea, at the same time, he is making sure that it will not be escalatory or provocative.
Meanwhile, with the 2025 midterm elections approaching, Tariela also noted that Filipino voters have shown increased awareness regarding the West Philippine Sea issue, largely due to the transparency initiative led by the National Task Force for the West Philippine Sea.
As the government continues its transparency effort, the hope is that more Filipinos, especially the youth, will take an active role in advocating the country's rights over the West Philippine Sea. From PIA Cagayan Valley, Mary Joy Javier, Balitang Pambansa.
Jumu'ah Mubarak, and that concludes our rundown of the latest, widest, and most comprehensive news and information from all across the nation. This is your trusted news source, always ready to inform and serve the Filipino people. Catch Balitang Pambansa again tomorrow at 7 a.m., 12 noon, 6 p.m., and 9:30 p.m. for more updates and developments. From Radyo Pilipinas, I'm Princess Habiba Saripaudak, and this is your Balitang Pambansa.